Babajide, so how are we trading today? Like I mentioned, we were down yesterday ahead of this MPC decision. How's the market looking right now?
Good morning, Wole. The market is doing well today. It's uptick today. It has about 0.24% as I speak right now, fundamentally driven by the banking stocks, that financial services sector, led by ETI, First Bank, GT Bank, and a couple of banking stocks out there.
All right, you mentioned the banks, and clearly that's a set of stocks that would be directly impacted by any MPC decision. Of course, when you consider things like net interest margins for the banks, many argue that the Tier 2 banks perhaps are benefiting a lot more from the stability. But your thoughts on how the market is likely to react to any decision at the MPC, particularly for the banks?
I think the market today is going to it has already factored in what the MPC decision will be. The general feel in the market is that the MPR will be held at 12%. Of course, inflation did go up 11.7%, which may suggest that the MPC should raise MPR, but no, the market fundamentals, all the market fundamentals in terms of positive accretion of external reserves, economic growth outlook, which is still positive, will make the MPC to maintain the MPR at 12%. So the market will not really react to it. And you must know the MPR is just a short-term phenomenon in terms of affecting the market in the short term. The long-run growth of the market will be enhanced by exchange rate stability, which the market perceives and which all other investors to perceive will be stable in the medium to long term.
Well, certainly in the short term, I think many people will agree with you there. But let's talk a bit about new listings and the impact that they may have for the market for the rest of the year. You just mentioned the market is up, but we do know that over the last few weeks it has been really range bound. It really hasn't moved very much. So your thoughts on the impact of the listings we're hearing, for instance, Geofluids we're hearing that may be listed sometime this week?
Yeah, well, Geofluids is a small cap stock, so we don't really expect any much impact on the market. Of course, it bodes well for the market in terms of a positive sentiment it sends out there that, companies are still interested in coming to list in the market. Of course, that's a positive sign for the future, which means that we expect more companies to come list. Of course, if we have the utilities in terms of the power generating companies, the multinational, in terms of telecoms company, MTN and all of them coming to list, that will be a bigger boost for the market. But for Geofluid, another small cap stock, well, fine positive sentiment, showing that, of course, the market is still accepting. The market is still attractive to companies that need the stocks to be in the marketplace out there. But in terms of impact, we don't expect much impact from Geofluid.
Well, I hear you loud and clear. I think many people are really expecting one day we would see the likes of MTN get listed on the markets. But okay, let's move on to
a great time for this.
It certainly would. Let's move on to the market making stock. We saw 3 new companies added to that program last week. We had Prestige Insurance, Dangote Flour, and Unity Bank. How are those counters trading right now? I'm very particular about Dangote Flour because we know that it recently declared huge losses.
Well, the 3 stocks as it is right now are just relatively very flat. We're still expecting some improved activities in those stocks. But for Dangote Flour, historically the company, it has always had this kind of result. I don't know why. Maybe because of the impact of international price of wheat and etc. But we just expected for Dangote. I'm not really surprised about Dangote Flour's performance. That's the way it has been. And again, we must understand again that for the market makers as a whole, because this company you just mentioned, I just met one of the many companies that have been added to the market making list. For the market makers, we have not seen as much activities and as much positive impact that we anticipated, because the securities lending part of the business of market making hasn't been fully crystallized, which means that the market makers are not fully utilizing that potential of what they have. So we're expecting that once the securities lending aspect of the market maker with the short seller is fully concretized between the market makers and the financials, we'll have some more improved activities. But as it is, the market making hasn't really added much as we expected to market liquidity.